네가 웃던 표정이 가짜가 아니길 바래 yeah. 내게 표한 관심이 옷장이 아니길 바래 이제 안 들려 남들이 나한테 뭐라던 간에 난 좋은 걸 좋아졌는데 과거는 어때 내 스타일이 아니면 나를 좋아한다면 그냥 친구였다면 그런 사람은 됐어.
Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk about one of Shakespeare's sonnets, sonnet number 79. It's a favorite of mine. It's really tough to get through, but we're gonna get there. So this sonnet, this is what you need to know first. It's part of the Rival Poet collection. Now, what do I mean by that? Shakespeare has 3 collections. He didn't particularly arrange them by himself, more like people later did it for him. So one of them were labeled the rival poet, and it's been told that the like an example sonnet number 79 are meant for his rival poet. So we're gonna start deciphering this. Whilst I alone did call upon thy aid. He's calling someone's aid, someone's help. Whilst means meanwhile. My verse alone had all thy gentle grace. My verses, which are poetic lines, you guessed it. So my verse alone had all thy gentle grace. Your, thy means your. Gentle grace. Grace means kindness, politeness. So he's really enjoying that when he called for her help. She's a girl, by the way. My lines had your help and kindness, and just me alone, no one else. But now, look, the tone has changed. My gracious numbers are decayed. What numbers? At first, I thought he meant like his life, his years, but no, it's back to verses. Remember, verses means poetic lines, and numbers in the dictionary means a combination of words I'm sorry, that's an Arabic word. A combination of words that in counting or noting a total. So again, they mean verses. So, but he's saying, but now my gracious means luxury or good taste. So he's complimenting himself. My gracious numbers, my poetic lines, are decayed, are dead. Because she stopped helping him. She stopped providing him aid. Let's see now why. This is getting really interesting. And my sick muse doth give another place. She is the muse. Now, why is a muse personified as a girl? Or why is it even personified? Well, it is very well known in Greek mythology that Zeus had 9 daughters, and they are the 9 daughters. They're the 9 muses, and they are here to provide, which is absolutely wrong, to the world muse, which is wrong. It's a myth, guys. Anyways, and my sick muse doth. Sorry, that's my neighbor's dog. And my sick muse doth means does, by the way, give another place. So she is aiding someone else. Let's see who's that someone else. Now, remember the rival poet. That's a hint. That's a giveaway, actually. It's not a hint. I grant, sweet love, thy lovely argument deserves the travail of a worthier pen. What does that mean? I grant means I agree or I admit. Sweet love. He's like flirting to the muse, kind of. Thy means your lovely argument. Argument as in like a subject or discussion or like that, deserves the travail of a worthier pen. Travail means work. Of a worthier pen, of a worthier poet, the rival poet. So he agrees. That's weird. Why does he agree? He's coming off as very weak. he's admitting that you are so worthy for a worthier pen, not me. Now let's see. Yet, again, there's a note changing. Look, in but and in yet, he keeps changing the voice tone to being a very powerful, playful tone. Yet, what of thee, thy poet doth invent? My God, he's smack talking him. It's like smack talking rap, which is, here's an anecdote for you. Rap stands for rhythm something poetry, RAP. You see? So yeah. So he's basically Shakespeare is smack talking the assumed rival poet. Remember, Shakespeare never said anything about that. That later his critics and his students and whatever they did the arrangements. Yet what of thee, thy poet doth invent? Thy poet doth invent. Doth again means does, right? What if thee thy poet does invent? Thy means your. So and thee means you. So yet what of you, your poet doth invent? Okay. So he's saying, okay, that poet, what does he invent even? So he's saying that he's not inventive, he's not innovative. He's basically copying people. Let's see whom he copies. He robs, there's the answer. He robs thee, you, off and pays it thee again. He robs you off and pays you again. What does that mean? That's so weird. So he robs her. He's not inventive because he robs the muse. So muses in Greek mythology are those who gives you muse, as I've said before, right? So he's saying that he steals from you. You have inspiration, you have beauty, and you have all of which are the 9 muses are known for their beauty. And so he's saying that he robs all of these qualities that you bring, and he pays it for you again. What does it mean when he said he pays you? So the rival poet robs the muse, literally, the muse's inspiration. So the rival poet is inspired now. He robs her beauty. So the rival poet can write about the beauty of the muse, her hair, her looks, whatever. But he's stealing that. That's what, it's so funny. It's such a hard shell to crack, this sonnet, but it's like, think about, let's see this painting. It's a very well-known painting by Van Gogh, I think. Yeah, Vincent William van Gogh, 1853 till 1890. Interesting. So this is a beautiful painting that Van Gogh painted, and I'm gonna write poetry about it. I'm gonna say the colors are so beautiful, yet they look like they're screaming. Look at how intense the colors are. This scene should not be a screaming scene. It's people having a cafe under the starlight, but the color decision here is not comfortable. It feels like the painting is screaming. So I'm complimenting Van Gogh by saying it's an amazing accomplishment that you've managed to do such a calm setting, but with screaming colors, and altogether it's a masterpiece. Somehow. So I'm really stealing what he has. He done the colors, and I'm complimenting him about the colors. So I'm stealing it. So my words are robbed because I looked at his painting. It's such a crazy thing to look at or to think of. I don't know why Shakespeare even thought about that, but let's continue. It's very interesting. So he robs thee off and pays it thee again. So his compliments are stupid and empty. They're not stupid, they're just meaningless. He lends thee virtue. Thee means you. He lends you virtue, and he stole that word from thy behavior. Gives you virtue, but he stole it again from where? He lends you virtue. He said you are virtuous, Muse, but he stole that word from your behavior. You are virtuous, mythical creature. That's who you are. He stole that, and he said that's a weird way to say that. It's like when some girl comes off and your friend says, "I love your hair. It looks so big," but yeah, my hair is big. I have a lot of hair. So you stole that from you stole that compliment. It's such a weird thing to say. It's a sick thing to say. But it's very genius and very beautiful to read. So let's continue. From your behavior, beauty. Okay, yeah, here. That's a new sentence. Beauty does he give and found it in thy cheek. He gives you beauty. He says you're beautiful. Remember, they are described as beautiful, the nine muses. But where does he found that? He stole that. He found it in your cheeks. In your cheek. That's kind of sweet. He's like flirting with her, isn't he? So it's like Shakespeare is saying, well, we can't say it's Shakespeare because the first person narrator here is unknown. So sure, the author is Shakespeare, but that does not mean, be careful, that does not mean that those are his words. He might be using another imaginary fictional character, okay? So be careful here. So anyways, this narrator, so I'm gonna start to address him as a narrator and not Shakespeare, which I should have done that before, is actually flirting with the muse. He's saying that you have beauty, you have virtue, isn't he? Right? He's flirting indirectly while messing up the other poet, the rival poet, the so-called rival poet. So let's finish this up. This is a new sentence. He can afford no praise. Again, it's about stealing. So he has no money. Okay, he can't afford to be inventive and create new words. So he can't afford no praise. Praise means like compliment to thee, to you. But what in thee doth live. That's beautiful. He's really complimenting her in a very indirect way. It's like he could be angry, dissing the rival poet, but at the same time, he's sweet talking the muse. Then thank him not for what then thank him not for what that which he doth say. Don't thank him for whatever he says, okay, muse? Don't thank him, since what he owes thee, which means you, though thyself dost pay. These are like Shakespearean Elizabethan words, thee, though, thy, dost. But they're very easy to crack. Look, thee means you, though means you again. Now, why do we have like two U's? Because this it's about grammatical issues. So in this position, grammatical position, thee suits better than though. But now in New English, this rule is cancelled, and they just use you in basically everywhere. So since what he owes you, you thyself, yourself, does pay. You are paying him. He can't afford anything. He stole. But when he says it lives in you, okay, and you paid for it, look, doth live in you, he's really complimenting her. He wants her back. He wants her aid back. So this has been the sonnet. It was hard, isn't it, at the first? But then it got really interesting and shocking and flirtatious and then dissing everything. It's incredible how poetry can do that. Hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It's my first video, so be kind
너는
and have
버림받기
fun.
싫은 나는 불쌍한 놈이잖아 나를 좋아하지 마라 얘 말고 딴 애들 다 너에겐 나는 아무것도 아닐 것 같아